Hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here.
Hey dude, I'm back from summer vacation. What'd I miss?
Well, Yokai Watch 2 Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls came out not that long ago, provided by Nintendo and Level 5. Thank you for that very much, guys. Just in time for Halloween, too. They're good games, but people have been really dismissive of them as of late, saying that they're too kiddie or a suckier Pokemon.
Please, Pokemon wishes its monsters were this hardcore.
Yeah, I'll admit, this game doesn't exactly pull in the adult demographic, but if you knew the nightmarish origins of this game's monsters, you might think different. In fact, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls showcases one of the most terrifying monsters I've ever read about. The classic yokai, Kappa.
Purichi, Purichi, Amarahi, Purichi! Yeah, Purichi!
So to get started, if you know anything about Japan, then I'm sure you've heard some of these facts about this guy before. Stuff like how its name means river child, or that it drags and drowns people underwater, or that it loves cucumbers. That's all well and good, but it doesn't really scratch the surface of the hardcore insanity this monster is about. I mean, yeah, Kappa are known to abduct people, especially children, and drag them to a watery grave, but it's once you get in the water the true horror of this monster is revealed. See, Kappa are all about the booty. While some say Kappa drink the blood of the humans that it preys on, in actuality, they are all about getting up in your butt. However, unlike connoisseurs of a finely sculpted backside, instead, and I don't know how else to say this, they feverishly attempt to reach into your butt and steal your living essence. Yes, you heard that right. Kappa will actually fist you for your soul. The reason they do this is because back in the day it was believed that every human housed the power of their soul in what was called a shiri kodama, or literally butthole ball. Kappa wanted this thing bad, so much so that it would drag you into the drink, reach inside to fish it out, or God forbid, attempt to suck it out. But that's not the worst of it. Some Kappa are also insanely misogynistic. Most of the times they'll just act like pigs trying to look up women's kimonos and whatnot, but there have been tales of a handful of extra foul Kappa who would force themselves on women. Now there are ways to defend yourself. Cucumbers, though, possibly not the best thing to use. Granted, legend says that giving a Kappa a cucumber will deter it, but that might actually give it more of an incentive to get into your butt. To actually protect yourself, one of the things that you can do is fart on them. God, I can't make this up, guys. See, Kappa love to fart, but they hate the smell of anyone else's gases. So, load up on Taco Bell if you plan on traversing Japan's most dangerous rivers. However, if you don't feel like having heartburn for the sake of protection, the other thing you can do is trick them. Despite the horrifying activities I described earlier, most Kappa are actually obsessed with ritualistic etiquette. When they're not literally butt pirating, they participate in many traditional activities, including sumo. So if a Kappa catches you, quickly challenge it to a sumo match on land, which it has no choice but to accept. Once you're in the circle, deeply bow to the creature and it will bow back. Once this is done, taking it down is no issue at all. See, what appears to be a balding spot on the Kappa's head is actually an indented bowl in its skull that it uses to carry around water from its home river or lake. If the Kappa loses contact with the waters of its home, it becomes powerless, allowing you to completely kick its butt. But in retrospect, you might not want to. Despite all of the horrible things I mentioned about Kappa, minus the womanizing butt pirating ones, the majority of these creatures are actually kind of okay yokai. See, the reason they're so obsessed with etiquette, sumo, and other intricacies of Japanese society is because they're fascinated by it. If you can befriend one, like in Yokai Watch, they're actually amazing companions to have. Not only are they great at farming and irrigation, but they are also master medical practitioners. According to legend, they know a great deal about bone and tissue mending, to a point where if you rip off one of their arms, they know exactly how to put it back on perfectly. So forget 12 years of medical school, go befriend and learn from a Kappa and save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars in tuition. And it's here where I have to admit that Kappa are among my favorite yokai. Not because of what they were, because God forbid you actually find a creature so twisted, but because of what they are now. As time went on, legends told of Kappa doing more and more for humanity, becoming heroes. In fact, at Seoul Genji Kappa-dera Temple, Kappa are honored amongst the people. Some say it was built in order to keep the local Kappa population happy, but I've heard other stories. Like how the temple was made because a huge group of Kappa came to the aid of the townsfolk during a massive flood. Regardless, the temple contains several positive artistic renditions of Kappa, provides an altar to which people can leave cucumbers to honor the creatures, and there is even a supposed real dried Kappa arm. I guess that one didn't want it back to reattach. Now in modern times though, Kappa have become more cute and docile and even helpful, providing warnings to children about dangerous bodies of water and even inviting people in onsens. Back in the day, that was the last thing you would want Kappa to do. Kappa are now also even the poster child of keeping lakes and rivers clean from trash and pollution. But love them or hate them, Kappa have had some pretty messed up back history. Though now they're icons of nature protection and admittedly pretty dang cute, Kappa have a pretty disturbing backlog of tendencies that really makes you think twice when you look at yokai like Wall Kappa, Apak, and the traditional faux Kappa. And trust me when I say this is but one monster in a long list of insanely messed up monsters in Japan, of which Yokai Watch features in their game. And if you want to learn more about them, let me know in the comment section below. A big thanks to Matthew Meyer for the use of his research and art, and a big thank you guys for your constant influx of amazing fan art. Seriously, seeing this stuff brings me a ton of joy to my work.
Whoa, is that me as an Umibozu? That's awesome!
If you want to send in your art to get showcased on the channel, I've got my P.O. Box, or you can submit it to the Gaijin Goombah fan club over on DeviantArt.com. Information in the description below. Finally, a big thank you to Loot Anime for sponsoring this video. If you're a fan of Yokai Watch, you'd be a fan of Loot Crate's Anime Monthly Box. Heck, it's where I got my awesome Yokai Watch shirt. For about $30 a month, you get 4 to 6 exclusive pieces of anime gear worth well over $60 right to your door, and each box has its own unique theme. For this month's theme box of Delicious, you can expect merch from Gudetama the Lazy Egg, Himoto Umaro-chan, Naruto Shippuden, Food Wars, and my personal favorite of the season, Sweetness and Lightning. So if you want in all of this exclusive swag, head on over to lootcrate.com/Goomba3 and input the code Goomba3 at checkout for 10% off your purchase. But don't delay, because this deal is only good through October 19th, 9 p.m. Pacific. But if you're looking for even more culture and gaming when it comes to Japan's crazy monsters, click here to check out how Yokai Watch's flagship cutie Japanyan is actually a terrifying man-eating demon. Or if you'd rather sink your teeth into some spooky Pokemon culture, click here to learn about how Alolan Marowak is a far more fearsome Polynesian ghost of its former self. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of my newest cultural theory videos. But until next time everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.